Hi guys! How are you today? Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jocelyn. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I am going to discuss today the Balikbayan Visa and everything that you needed to know about this visa. Let's get started. We are going to discuss the requirements for Balikbayan Visa, who is considered Balikbayan, what are the benefits, the duration, the cost, and all the documentary requirements that needed to be presented before the Bureau of Immigration, and the extension, the validity, and who will be benefited from this program. A Balikbayan is a Filipino citizen who has been continuously out of the Philippines for more than 1 year. Examples of Balikbayan are overseas Filipino workers, former Filipino citizens who were naturalized in a foreign country, and their immediate family members such as the spouse or children. Please take note that there are only a few limited persons who can qualify under the Balikbayan Visa. These are the spouse or the children. So if you have like relatives such as nephews and nieces and they wanted to visit the Philippines with you and you are traveling together, they may not be able to avail of this visa. Only immediate family members of the Filipino national or Filipino citizen may be able to avail of this Balikbayan Visa. By definition, a Balikbayan Visa is a type of visa given to passengers arriving in the Philippines, and they only qualify under the following conditions such as overseas Filipino workers or former Filipino citizens or Filipino citizens who are traveling with their foreign spouse or children. This Balikbayan Visa program is under Republic Act number 6768 as amended by 9174. The purpose of the Balikbayan Visa is to reward those Filipino citizens who are visiting their motherland and also reward them for contributing to the Philippine economy. The other persons entitled are the immediate family members such as the spouse and children. However, there is an Executive Order number 408 and it lists the countries which are qualified under the Balikbayan Visa program. So, the spouse or the children must be nationals of those countries included in this executive order to be able to avail of the Balikbayan Visa. So, if your country or the husband or the children are not nationals of the country included in Executive Order number 408, then they cannot avail of this visa. And also, these immediate family members must be traveling together with the Filipino spouse or the former Filipino citizen. If you are a former Filipino citizen, for example, you have been naturalized as a U.S. citizen, you can still travel in the Philippines based on the Balikbayan Visa program. So what is the Balikbayan Visa program? Once you arrive in the Philippines, you can avail of the 1-year visa-free privileges of staying in the Philippines. You do not need an entry visa to travel. However, for former Filipino citizens, you still need to prove that you are a former Filipino, such as presenting an old Philippine passport or a Philippine birth certificate. The next category are foreigners, but not all foreigners can travel in the Philippines. For example, if you are a foreign spouse of a Filipino national, you can travel in 2 ways. First, if your spouse is in the Philippines, you need an entry visa or a tourist visa from abroad before traveling. However, if you are a foreign spouse and your Filipino national spouse is also traveling with you, so that means you are traveling together, that foreign spouse do not need an entry visa abroad because you can avail of the Balikbayan Visa. The Balikbayan Visa can extend to immediate family members such as a foreign spouse or a foreign child or children. Please take note that the marriage between the foreign spouse and then the Filipino national must be valid according to the laws of the Philippines. All of these eligible passengers must comply with the 4 conditions of the Interagency Task Force. I'm going to enumerate these 4 conditions. Must have a valid and existing visa at the time of entry unless otherwise stated, with pre-booked accredited quarantine facility hotel for at least 6 nights at the traveler's expense. Must undergo PCR test on the 6th day of quarantine. Non-overseas Filipino workers and non-Filipinos on Philippine airline flights arriving in Manila will be swabbed by the Toxicare Molecular Diagnostics Laboratory. And also the last condition is subject to the maximum capacity of inbound passengers as set by the National Task Force for COVID-19. Let's talk about this Executive Order number 408 because there are also additional requirements. First, the passport must be valid for at least 6 months or the validity should be during the point of entry. Also, you needed a return ticket back to your country of origin. Otherwise, if you are only presenting a one-way ticket to the Philippines, you will not be able to avail of this visa. If you are a former Filipino citizen availing of this visa, you needed to present an old Philippine passport or your birth certificate or a certificate of naturalization and other proof of citizenship. Let's talk about the other privileges aside from staying visa-free for 1 year in the Philippines. And also shopping privileges to those who are qualified. Tax-exempt maximum purchase in the amount of 1,500 United States dollars or its equivalent in Philippine peso and in other foreign currencies at all government-owned and controlled operated duty-free shops subject to the limitations of Section 4 under the law. All domestic carriers shall establish a special promotional incentive program for the Balikbayan. Visa-free entry to the Philippines for a period of 1 year for foreign passport holders with the exception of restricted nationals. Travel tax exemption as provided under PD number 1183 and Executive Order number 283 and other allied laws. Specially designated reception areas at the authorized ports of entry for the expeditious processing of documents. Accredited transportation facilities that will ensure their safety and convenient trips upon arrival. The Department of Tourism and the Department of Transportation and Communications and other concerned government agencies are hereby mandated to implement the program for this particular purpose, and kabuhayan shopping privilege and additional tax-exempt purchase in the amount of $2,000 US or its equivalent in Philippine peso and other acceptable foreign currencies, exclusive for the purchase of livelihood tools at all government-owned and controlled operated duty-free shops. You are entitled to tax-exempt privileges. However, there is a time period where you can exercise this kind of exemption. Purchases shall be made within 15 calendar days from the date of arrival, provided that during the Christmas season reckoned from November 15 to January 15, the privilege is extended to 30 calendar days from the date of arrival, provided further that said privilege shall be availed of on a one-time shopping basis only. And in the case of senior citizens and handicapped balikbayan, they shall be allowed to enjoy the privilege within 1 year from the date of arrival in the country. Since you can avail of the exemption privileges like for only 15 days during the year, and it's only one-time basis. However, if you arrive between November 15 onwards, you can avail of this privilege for 30 days only from November 15 to January 15. So those balikbayans who are handicapped or senior citizens can avail of this privilege for 1 year and not just from the first 15 days of arrival. Please take note that the Balikbayan Visa is free for those who are balikbayan and also together with their foreign spouse or children. And the only requirement is that the foreign spouse or the children must also present the necessary documents such as proof of filiation or a proof of marriage at the port of entry. Also, the Balikbayan visa is considered a multiple entry visa. You can also apply for the extension of the Balikbayan visa. Make sure that you apply before the expiration of 1 year. And you can apply for increments of 1 month or 2 months or 6 months. And the application must be submitted either to the Bureau of Immigration in Manila or to other branch offices located in the Philippines. The cost to extend is 500 pesos for the application fee and 10 pesos for the legal research fee. There is an administrative fine of 5,000 pesos for each year of overstaying, and if you exceed by 18 months, it is already considered 2 years. About the shopping privileges. Privilege can be availed of by the Balikbayan once a year, and the privilege is non-transferable. So purchases shall be made personally by the Balikbayan, provided that a Balikbayan who has gone back abroad may still avail of the kabuhayan shopping within a maximum period of 1 year from the date of arrival in the country, and that immediate family members of the Balikbayan shall be allowed to claim the kabuhayan tools purchased, provided further that an overseas Filipino worker duly described by the POEA or the Philippine Overseas Labor Officer or by the Embassy Consulate of the Philippines in the country where he or she had been deployed, taking into consideration the evidence of remittance, may opt to be endorsed in writing the kabuhayan shopping privilege to his or her immediate family members within 2 years from the date of effectivity of his or her contract and only during the duration of the same. And only a Balikbayan of majority age under Philippine laws can enjoy the privilege, provided that the family members who are minors shall be continued to be entitled to purchase privilege not exceeding the allowable tax-exempt limit for arriving passengers. In addition to existing limitations on the number of consumables purchased, a Balikbayan shall be entitled to buy only one item of every product category of non-consumables whose selling price exceeds 200 United States dollars. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, I'm going to send all the resources below, such as the law regarding Balikbayan Visa and Executive Order number 408 and everything that you needed to know about this visa. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video.